guys, Harry Thomas here, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my first top 10 list in so long. With the release of Ready Player One, Steven Spielberg's latest movie, I thought to myself, now is the perfect time to share with you all my top 10 personal favourite Steven Spielberg movies. To say Spielberg is a masterful director is a great understatement. He has defied and changed cinema forever. I grew up with his movies. I am just one of the longer list of aspiring movie directors who he has convinced to get into filmmaking. I even had an entire book explaining Spielberg's entire life and career. And so without further ado, here are my top 10 favourite Spielberg movies. At number 10, easily one of Spielberg's most underrated. Screw the critics. That 29% on Rotten Tomatoes is far too freaking low. But it's one of the better Peter Pan movies out there for sure. It's magical. Julia Roberts will melt your heart as Tinkerbell. She is amazing. And Julia Roberts will melt your heart as Tinkerbell. She is amazing, and Robin Williams is so good as Peter Pan, as is Dustin Hoffman as Captain Hook. This movie is just bursting with charm, and that's what I love about it. It's a family movie with charm. And at number 9, I had to put this one on the list, Raiders of the Lost Ark. I know you Indiana Jones fans are lost for words. You're like, Harry, how is Raiders of the Lost Ark not higher? But Raiders, I admit, is still the go-to adventure movie. It is infeasible to make an adventure movie without comparing it to Raiders. It has one of the greatest opening scenes of all fucking time, with Indy going into the temple to retrieve the golden statue, and he's chased by the rolling ball. That has become a pop cultural sensation. And Indy and Karen Allen's character click so well together as they travel on a perilous adventure to retrieve the Ark. If I had one nitpick with this movie, it would be the Nazis are just amateurish villains. I never get the love for the Nazi antagonist in both this movie and Last Crusade. But other than that, Raiders of the Lost Ark is a timeless adventure. And at number 8, Schindler's List. This movie isn't for the faint of heart. It is a bold movie. The Holocaust is such a traumatic subject to actually portray on film. But and the moment when as Schindler actually witnesses Jews being killed right in front of him, and he witnesses their bodies, that moment was that distressing and upsetting that I had to look away. The moments when he stands up for the Jewish, and you're like, yes, you're awesome, man. You tell those monsters that's what's going on in the concentration camps. This is evil, and the Jews deserve better. Yeah. At number 7, a controversial choice by all means, but I don't care. My number 7 is War of the Worlds, the Steven Spielberg version. It improves over the original big time. It puts the original to frickin' shame. Steven Spielberg actually made a real and convincing and gritty alien invasion movie, and he does something different with it. The aliens don't just come from space and all that cliches. They actually come from the ground, which they have been. Boy, are they formidable and make themselves noticed. This movie is filled with extreme tension and incredible drama and incredible performances from Tom Cruise, Dakota Fanning, and everybody. You can see the fear in their eyes once the aliens arrive, And sure, the ending is a little rushed, but there's still a great message embedded in that ending. That's nature itself can save the Earth, not our technology. And this is, if aliens actually did arrive on Earth, this is exactly how a alien invasion would take place in reality. At number 6, by far the best dinosaur movie, Jurassic Park. I know, I'm aware you're all upset that Jurassic Park hasn't managed to make it into the top 5, but damn has it come closer. Jurassic Park, it put dinosaurs on the map in movies. This is one of my favourite movies, period, and because as a kid I wanted to learn every single thing about dinosaurs. I visited the museums and studied them to no end. Jurassic Park is not only educational for my generation, but for every generation. But this movie is a landmark in visuals. The T-Rex and the raptors, they're real. There is no way they are fake. John Williams' theme, the da-da-dan-dan-dan, is wonderful, and the climax where the T-Rex and the raptors battle each other, that is fucking epic. One of my top climaxes. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, you're returning to practical effects over CGI, so you'd better be awesome. At number 5, also a vastly underrated Spielberg masterpiece, Warhorse. This movie has been almost universally forgotten. I have seen nobody praise or even talk about Warhorse anymore, and that's such a shame, because Warhorse, this has some of the greatest and most thrilling war scenes since Saving Private Ryan, and the horse that they got to act in this movie, that was a real horse, and that horse just literally acted and interacted with his human actors ever so perfectly. You care about this horse throughout the entire movie. It even has a brutal honesty about its themes of animal cruelty. So yeah, Warhorse is a stunning achievement that deserves more love. At number 4, as much as I love Warhorse, even this is no match for the majesty that is Saving Private Ryan, the greatest war movie of all frickin' time. Whenever you put Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks together, the final result is a work of art. The opening of Saving Private Ryan it easily totally makes my top 10 favourite movie openings of all time. I would have to be crazy not to include it in that list, and just you feel like these soldiers led by Tom Hanks are in constant danger and peril on their mission to bring back one of their lost comrades, Ryan. And this movie contains the most intense, brutal, and shocking war sequences ever put to film. I mean, this movie shall, I believe, always remain the best war movie. It will never be best. At number 3, the definitive shark movie and the first ever At number 3, the greatest shark movie and the first official blockbuster, Jaws. Jaws is a worthy first blockbuster, the first ever movie to gross over $100 million commercially, as well as this movie being perfectly directed, and the John Williams theme, the dun 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 dun, being one of the most suspenseful and timeless scores in cinematic history. What makes Jaws succeed with flying colours as a horror movie is that this movie gets tension better than any movie I have ever seen. And this movie is just packed filled with extreme suspense, like in the classic opening when the lady, she's swimming naked and the shark just comes up to her from the surface, as you see on the movie's poster. And if I was a lifeguard in this movie, I would frickin' wrestle that shark to rescue her, because a lady is worth risking your life for, and the shark is rightfully hardly shown until the climax, which just adds phenomenally to the suspense. But when the shark is shown, it's ridiculously satisfying. So I will forever love this total masterpiece. At number 2, oh man, you all are going to send an angry mob after me for this, but Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom is my second favourite Spielberg movie and my favourite of the Indiana Jones trilogy. Please don't hurt me. Yeah, I can tell you all right now are outraged. You're like, Harry, I am beginning to question you as a movie critic. I'm unsubbing. How dare you put Temple of Doom over Raiders and Last Crusade? Well, the other two were never family pictures to begin with. They had their share of gory deaths. So upping the darker content in Temple of Doom makes sense to me. And the villains here are done infinitely better than the villains in Raiders and Last Crusade. Mola Ram is the best Indiana Jones villain. He's beyond intimidating. He makes the Nazis look like pussies, and this movie has moments that will fucking terrify you, like when the guy's heart is ripped out and is set on fire, and the movie isn't without its charm despite being the most mature Indiana Jones movie. I mean, I adore Willie. I think Willie is a better match for Indy than Karen Allen. So Temple of Doom, hands down Spielberg's most underrated picture, and my number one favourite Steven Spielberg movie. This isn't everybody's favourite, but it's mine, 100%. E.T. make great movie. E.T. the extraterrestrial. I first checked out this movie in my childhood on TV, and it captivated me ever since. I have never forgotten this landmark of cinema. I have never seen a family movie with more heart, more passion, and magic put into it, and the classic iconic shots with E.T. in the basket flying over the moon. That's shots alone makes you go E.T. You don't mistake it for any other movie, and E.T. himself is so awesome and friendly that you wish he could stay on Earth forever. So in the third act, which is one of the most legitimately moving and tear-jerky third acts in movie history, I'm not kidding, I was like, E.T., don't go, when he's almost dying, but then thankfully he's revived, and he leaves the family to return home. Oh, the feels, man, the feels. I feel a whole range of emotions whenever. Without this movie, I wouldn't Without this movie, I wouldn't be a fan of Spielberg today. I can't think of a more worthy choice for my favourite Spielberg movie, and this is just one of the most awesome movies period. It always has been, and it always will be. So that was my top 10 favourite Steven Spielberg movies. We'll see if Ready Player One is worthy to make the list. Well, I love you guys. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And do you agree or disagree with my list? And what are your top 10 favourite Spielberg movies? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow me on Twitter and on Google Plus and on Instagram. And I'll see you all next time. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.